It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bar, back the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be clean.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul. Hey.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a light in this bitch. I'm fit.
You hear what I said?
Yes, bitch, I heard you. I'm pretending like I didn't.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with Herbie, man. I'm trying to told you just with Herbie, man.
Well. Gotta get a piece of my.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously, in no time, switch its rotation also because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
Joe V. He looked down, seen his feet, the nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air. You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
My eye, plus I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yeah. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deep. I think very deeply.
Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me.
I'm in your business.
Hold up. You don't know nothing about that shit, bitch.
First you tell us that it is manly to keep your word. All right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all that the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well then, show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well then, stick to your word. And let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a worm, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you. And if that's what you're afraid of us, then tell us that just what you're afraid of. But don't keep hiding it from us and holding this up to us, and every time we ask you for something, you give us a little bit of something, and it's all tokenism. We don't want tokenism. And there are most black men in this world that don't want charity. And yet still every time we ask you for something, you give us a little piece, a little piece. You're playing games with us. We're not children. We're big men. I've seen my father have to put up with all kinds of stuff. He was a big man. He raised a family. He went down south, and he had to go around to the back door with his wife. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for any favors. All we want is what's ours. Now, there are many black veterans who are coming back, and they're mad. They're angry. Do you think that they're going to sit down through this? Our fathers didn't have the knowledge that we have. They sat through it. But there are other black youth that are not going to sit through it. We know about Che. We know about Fanon. We've read the books of our revolution. We've listened to Mao and his quotations. We know where we stand. We're not going to sit for it. We're asking, and if we ask and we don't get, we're prepared to stand up and take it. If I ask a man, I tell a man I am hungry. I tell him I am cold. And I ask him to do something about my condition. And this man holds a loaf of bread right in front of me so I can see it, and I keep asking him, I'm begging him to please give me a slice of the loaf of bread. I am hungry. Then it is known by every psychologist that the next step in the progression is I am going to knock him upside the head and take the bread from him. I'm not going to starve to death.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama. And you...
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
You got to pray to God and tell God your rent due. Any God that didn't know your rent was due ain't God.
Some people, they feel like you almost have to sell your soul to get fame. Or is it just hard work? Or, is it luck? Is it consequence? Is it...
No, most of us in sold our soul. We just call it something else. Hmm.
What's all that noise?
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
come with baggage, just I asked Louis was on.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
I like that.
Bitch niggas, hoe niggas, rich niggas, broke bitch. I told niggas this was on, yeah, right here.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
I think we OD.
My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah.
Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice, and pulls up in the deuce. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I hit the loot juice, and pulls up in the deuce.
Like I said, you go to the history of European civilizations, 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it out. Nigga. Nigga.
Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, that's my motherfucking cue to come on in and greet everybody on this Prediction Pick Wednesday. So, let's get into it, man. Thank you, PJ Allen, for coming.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
The Finesse, thank you for coming.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
Johnny Ox, thank you for coming.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
Jamar, 3224.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
And Jesus Saves, thank you for coming.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
Well, where do I start? The Dodgers won tonight. Before I get into my picks, the Dodgers won tonight, and I'm going to just show you. If you think that shit was real, first Justice misses a pop fly, and they give you the excuse, well, he took his eye off it. Come on now. For the money, and you taking your eye off the ball? No, he just dropped it. Then the shortstop bumbles a play where he just fires at a person that's just close to him. What's up? See over the technician.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
Tell me that made sense. But here's the worst play. And they did not take this dude out. This is the worst play of the game right here.
All right, here we go. Part of the fix.
This is the worst play of the game. Tell me he's trying.
Watch him not go to first base.
Tell me
How
he's
don't
trying.
you go to first base?
He's been doing this since March.
Why wouldn't
he
the pitcher
doesn't
go to
run
first
to the
base
base.
to cover first base?
Points at the guy and doesn't
I
hustle
don't
to
know.
the base.
That ain't
Look
fixed.
at this.
What's
Why
fixed?
you pointing there?
Why didn't he go to first
You're
base?
supposed to run your ass
Then he
over
looks
there.
like they didn't do
You've
what
been
they're
doing
supposed
this
to do. You're
since
supposed
March.
to cover first base. He's been doing this since
You've been
March.
covering the bag since March.
Does not
He had such
cover
a lead.
first base.
Look at this. Look
Why?
at the lead he had on Mookie. He had such a lead on Mookie.
Again,
He'd have got Mookie
Why
out.
doesn't he cover first base?
I mean, this is the game right here. If you
Why
really
doesn't he
think
cover
about
first
this, let him in. Why don't you cover first base? He'd
Why is
have
he
beat
pointing
Mookie
him?
to
He
the
knows
base
it's
if
too
he'd have took
deep.
off right to the base like
You
he's
go
taught.
over there even if it's not. All right, here we go. Part of the
Right
fix.
to the base
I'm
like
gonna show
he's
the
taught.
just fixed. Why
There's
didn't
the
he go
one
to
where it
first?
shows them
What's
both
fixed?
take off about the same time. Let me see
Why
if I
didn't
can
he
get
go to
that
first
again.
base? Then he looks like they didn't do what they're supposed
Okay,
to
I
do.
think
You're
this is
supposed
the
to
one
cover
where they
first
both
base. He's
take
been
off.
doing this
Look,
since
he
March.
could have beat Mookie there.
Does
He
not
could have beat
cover
him to the
first
base.
base.
You see that?
Why?
He quit. He quit on the play. He quit
Ken,
on the
look at
play
that.
so they
They
could
didn't
get.
do what they're
Watch
supposed to
this.
do. You're supposed to cover
If he
first base. He's
sprints
been
to the
doing this
bag,
since
he's got
March.
Mookie beat.
Does
But he
not
stops.
cover first base.
Stops. Why did he stop? Why did he stop, y'all?
Ken, let's look
There was
at
no
that.
reason for him
Why
to
doesn't
stop.
he cover first base? Why doesn't he cover first base?
Yeah, there was no reason for him to stop.
Why is he pointing to him? He knows it's too deep.
So, you
go
know,
over there
that
even
was
if-
the game right there. That was the game. Yeah, it makes no sense. If you don't think that was thrown on purpose, I don't know what y'all thinking. They put it in your face. Oh, I'm gonna do something new. I hope my sinuses don't go crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. I bought some incense because I'm gonna burn the house down with that Palo Alto, and I can't find my sage. So I bought some incense. 10 for $1 ain't bad. So to clear some energies out, burn these incense. Less likely to catch a fire. There we go. I got all these pennies and quarters and nickels. See if I can keep this motherfucker straight up. So I don't get on my carpet. All right, here we go. Put it on this table. Make it lean in a little bit. There we go. It's gonna burn straight up and down. If I gotta light another one, I'll do that. I just hope my sinuses can take it. Palo bum for like 15 seconds. Yeah. I mean, it was like, it made no sense. That throw he threw the Jazz, like you knew. He's that in front of you and you ain't gonna put no touch on it. You just gonna fire it at him. I mean, it was stupid play after stupid play. And then to keep that pitcher in for what, 2 more innings? You know, it was like, it just wasn't believable. It wasn't believable, that's all. It wasn't really believable, so. That's what we saw tonight. We saw how they scripted it. They gave New York some hope early in the game. They wanted to get viewership. So it's like, it might be New York again. But I told you it would be at least 2 games. 2 games in both places. They got the money they wanted. LA got the 2 games, whatever millions they made in them 2 days. They got 2 days in New York. Or actually, for a second. Yeah, so they got 3 games in New York. They got 3 games in New York. New York got a little bigger to pop because it was 3 games compared to 2. But overall, LA got the championship where they're gonna cash in on in jersey sales and shit like that. So it was some bullshit as normal. It was bullshit as normal. Johnny. Jamar, Dr. Sinister. Oh, Dr. Sinister came in. I didn't see Dr. Sinister. What's happening?
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
Thank you for joining. Let me see. I think that's everybody. Okay, that's everybody. So what we saw was totally bogus. It was easy to follow the script. And what else can I say? You know, Freddie Freeman, again, baseball is the easiest to script because you can give a home run up at any time. You can give a home run up at any time. So baseball is the easiest script. That's why it's like, it seems like there's possibilities that they could have ball control, but they really don't need ball control. You know, even that short video I made, it did kind of seem like the ball had a little bit control. But baseballs, they go through so many baseballs. The effort it would take to do a ball control, you know, would be a lot. So, yeah. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, let me see. I knew that when Fernando passed, the Dodgers were winning. It's the same thing the Braves did with Hank Aaron. That's a good point. Hang Han, thank you for joining.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
They gave credits at the movie. Like it was a movie. Yeah, they kind of did. I caught that. It wasn't believable, you know. Judd, after finally getting some hits, and then he makes the fuck up in the outfield, which makes no sense. He had plenty of time. He wasn't rushed. And you telling me he's gonna drop a routine fly ball under the guys he didn't look it in. He dropped that ball on purpose. And then the shortstop making the bad throw was on purpose. And then if the pitcher runs to first, he beats Mookie. But he doesn't run to first, and none of them questioned it. None of them really questioned why he didn't run to first. That made entirely too much, didn't make sense. So we see what it was. We saw what they did, and it's like, yeah, it was 3 games in New York. So we saw what it was. They gave New York 3 days of money, gave California 2, but New York got to win. And yeah, Fernando Valenzuela was definitely a sacrifice. And we see how sacrifices work. And that's probably a tell as well. And you know, that 5-0 was for in baseball betting. I mean, that's how you gotta look at it. It was in baseball betting. So, you know, I always go to movies, and I went to another movie, but I don't even know what this movie here is about. But I grab, you know, I collect movie posters, and whatever Smile won, I imagine it's some kind of creepy shit. So, I'm gonna do a brief review of the Covenant. It's a slow moving burn. I think Sly would always say a slow burn. It is definitely a slow burn. It's a slow movie. And what made it even worse was, like when I saw Beetlejuice, I think it was still basically in 4K. And even in the side movie theaters and not the Ultra. You know, the Ultra got all the sounds, Adamus. So we saw this movie on one of the side screens because the Covenant was not on the major screens, which is really a shame, and to my point of why, you know, my time wasn't totally cool. It was one of the worst screens of movies I've been in a long time. I mean, this shit looked like it was 1080p. And I say the fucked up part is, you know, this is a movie about the Vatican. So there's a lot of beautiful scenes that constantly you're seeing. And it's just, the screen was so fucked up that it just didn't pop on the screen, you know. So that was my first complaint. Smile is a demon jumping bodies. I fell asleep on the last one. Okay, I doubt I see it anyway. So the movie starts where the Holy Father just dies. And there's a lot of intrigue around the Holy Father dying. They find out one minister was actually got fired before the dude died. And his second man was kind of with him, you know, who everybody thought would be the Pope. They thought, you know, he would be with him. So the Pope dies. The dude who played the Oral Baron, who they say might be up for Academy Award, the main actor, I'd have to look him up who the fuck he is. He's the dean of the Cardinals. So even though he votes, he's in charge of the process of getting the next Pope. So they're vetting people, and you know, they bring all the popes in. They bring all the cardinals in, excuse me. And so there's 200 and some cardinals. But then at the very end, they say, hey, there was a magical cardinal that nobody knew about. They're like, he was in Afghanistan. They was like, he was in Kabul. So this magic cardinal that nobody knew about, all of a sudden they're like, hey, he's a cardinal. He got it already. So they bring him in, which to me was kind of a tell. But anyway. So they bring everybody in. They start politicking and shit. And of course, you've got the Italian Pope, one of the Italians saying, you know, it's about time we have another Italian Pope. So the popularity vote was going to go to this African cardinal. And so what was interesting, racist about the movie and what they did is like, we can't have another, we need another Italian Pope. And then he turns and looks at the brother. He looks at the brother saying, we don't need a nigga being the Pope. And, you know, the closest I think a brother ever, well, yeah, I think one of the early popes after supposedly Paul was a brother, one of the early popes. But other than then, Valentinus, sure if y'all hip to Valentinus. I should read a little bit from he gives some writing, the Gospel of Treaties, I think it's called in the Gnostic Bible. But anyway, so they have the first vote, and this African cardinal who played in Gangs of New York, the dad who played in Gangs of New York is the African cardinal. So he gets the most votes. The one that was the Pope's best friend gets the least. And then the Dean of Popes get a few votes. So, and then the dude who got fired by the Pope, he gets a few votes. So they go into the next day, you know, they're having dinner, and all of a sudden this chick drops, you know, she drops the tray. And the black Pope candidate gets up and they both leave. And then the dean has to, you know, investigate what the fuck is going on. Come to find out, they wanted to discredit the black Pope, so the black cardinal, so he wouldn't get elected. So the first one that just gets credited is a brother. And so the one who's about to get fired, he did a little ranging and found out that cardinal had a child when he first was a preach. He had a child. He explained about the child, but there's like, you can't be the Pope because you got you some coochie. You can drink and smoke, but you can't get coochie. So he doesn't be able to be Pope. So then the Pope that the cardinal that was orchestrating everything, he gets caught that he was orchestrating everything. He gets caught that he brought that sister here to fuck up the brother. He gets caught doing all that. And it becomes known that he was about to get fired and being put out of being a cardinal. So that comes into light. So he's disqualified. So really, as they're arguing, and this is when I told my before even any of this came out, I told my wife, the new dude gonna be the Pope. That's what I told her in the beginning of the movie. When I first saw him, the next 10 minutes, I said, watch, they're gonna make him the next Pope. So they're all arguing and stuff, and then this new Pope gets up and talks about, you know, what Jesus wanted and how we gotta help everybody. He gave a speech. So the next day, everybody votes for this motherfucker. He becomes the new Pope. Well, at the last minute, one of the dean's guys, under cardinals or whatever the fuck he is, he's like, I need to tell you the truth. He's like, this new Pope went in, he had surgery, and there might have been some mental surgery done some the fuck where, I forget where it was done. So he goes and talks to the new Pope, and guess what the new Pope is? The new Pope, he said, well, did you go to have mental, you know, did you go to the hospital and have some type of brain surgery or whatever? He's like, no. He tells him the truth. He was like, I had a hysterectomy. And the Dean Pope is like, what? So the big turn or the big spin in the movie is the new Pope is a hermaphrodite who got his female stuff removed because he got sick, but he was hermaphrodite. So the hermaphrodite becomes the new Pope. And I wish my brother was here because it turns into a little bit of angels, not the Nephilim. What did he call them? The Nephilim. It turns into the Nephilim because the Nephilim was, you know, technically hermaphrodites. They were both or neither. Like they say, angel is both or neither or nothing at all. And so that's kind of the deeper twist. It was like they're kind of saying that they put really a truly saintly person in this position because it is both sex. That's the new energy that needs to be into the church. You know, it's possible to have a female pope or a pope with both sexes. So that's the twist. So if I spoiled it for you, too fucking bad. I know. I can't wait to see it on TV because my TV it's gonna look a lot better. I was really disappointed again in the quality of the movie theater I was in. Such a pretty movie that a lot of the beautiful scenes you couldn't even tell because it was gritty. And that's my problem with going to the side movies. It's like if the movie theater, if the screen ain't better than my TV, why am I paying for this? So that's the Covenant. I don't know if a lot of y'all gonna be into it. It's probably not, but yeah. So I'm gonna get right in. Let me see. Yeah. That was the twist at the end. That was definitely the twist at the end. But they try to, and again, when you say inclusion, you know, that's the kind of message you get too, is inclusion. it's about time we have this feminine side, it being a pope as well. So it's a little inclusion if you saw that. So it was something you didn't, but I kind of saw through it because I was like, this motherfucker's now. I didn't know he was gonna be a hermaphrodite, but I did know he was gonna be Pope when they introduced him. Because if you look in the way they build the movie up, and the screenplay was okay, but it was again, it threw the racism in. They didn't want the black Pope, so they had to discredit him. Do you dig? They had to do, and they did. They had to discredit him. Number two, had got fired, so he couldn't have been Pope, and then he did all this backward shit because he knew that the African dude had more juice and was more than likely gonna be Pope. And then the dude who is funny, that the Pope's best friend, they was like, yeah, you got to give your votes to somebody else. The people backed you because there's only like 7, 8 people that backed him. But then they thought the dude who's gonna be Pope thought that the dean might be, and he asked the dean, he's like, what would you want your name to be? And he said Paul, I think. Now then they asked the dude, the dude from Afghanistan, was from South America, the hermaphrodite, what his name was. He was gonna be Innocent. He took the Pope name Innocent, whatever, the 1000th or something like that. So unexpected twist, but again, slow movie, predictable in a lot of ways. It was predictable. Kind of the old time stereotypes too, thrown in there. You know, the black man can't control himself. It was a different time. So I, had to give you that spoiler. So I'm gonna get right into my picks this week. So this is week 9. I ended up, let's see, I ended up 11-5, which put me into 79-41. So I'm 79-41 for the year, and we're at week 9. So 79-41. Now, the first game I got is the Texas and the Jets. The Jets have lost, 3 in a row, 2 in a row? Will they bounce back at home? I'm going to go with Texans, even though they might script it for them who lost 3 in a row. We got the Commanders against the Giants. I'm going to Commanders on the road. Cowboys against the Falcons. The Cowboys, I think, have lost 2 in a row. So I keep going with the Cowboys. They keep letting me down, but I'm going to roll with the Cowboys on the road again. I can't stand Kirk Cousins. They're probably going to get beat again, though. Saints and Panthers. Saints played good last week. I don't know, but I don't like the Saints. So I'm going to go to Patriots, right? Yeah, the Patriots. The Patriots and Saints. Dolphins and the Bills. Both teams are playing well. I think the Dolphins are a little more explosive than the Bills, but the Bills at home are hard to beat. So I'm going to go Bills. Browns and the Chargers. Are they going to give the Browns, or is Jameson Winston going to throw a bunch of interceptions? I say he throws interceptions. I'm going with the Chargers. Patriots and Titans. I have not been impressed with neither team, but the Titans seem to play better. But I'm going to say Patriots on the road. We got the Raiders and Bengals. I think the Bengals played good enough last week. I'm going to say Bengals win. We got the Broncos and the Ravens. The Broncos only lost the first 2 in a row. I don't think they're going to lose a third in a row. Then we got the Jags and the Eagles. The Eagles played their best game last week. Then we got the Rams and the Seahawks. I say the Rams are coming back. Then we got the Lions and Packers. Just the way they do things, I got a feeling the Packers might get this one. So I just got a feeling about the Packers at home and the way they want to do the league. Packers always play good, so I'm gonna go with the Packers at home. This might be a give me for the Lions. I might change that one. We'll see. The Colts and the Vikings. I'm going with the Vikings. And the Buccaneers against the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs to stay undefeated. The only one I might change is the Packers and the Lions. I'll see how I feel about that one. So I got the Texans, Commanders, Cowboys, Patriots, Bills, Chargers, Panthers. Yeah, Panthers. That's Panthers. Yeah. Panthers, Bengals, Ravens, Eagles, Rams, Packers, Vikings, Chiefs. So that's what I wanted to get that out there. Been a fun week. What's it say? It was quite of a twist for the movie. It was really, again, I had figured out the dude was going to be Pope. And what he said was really, a beautiful message. I'll say that. The speech he gave everybody was like, we really need to be more like Jesus. We really need to love each other. We need to teach love. That's our thing ain't here about finances and land acquirement. We are here to teach brotherly love and everybody getting along and helping humanity. So that was kind of a message in itself as well. So that was cool. The finesse, what's happening?
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul.
I got the Lions due to the Jameson Williamson story going up here in Michigan. Okay. Okay. That was still a question for me. That was definitely a question for me. So I'll get that one. I'll give that one a look before we go. And of course, I wonder if how much they're gonna show of it. Bronny James made his first basket. He had actually a decent game. Did they go tell how many points he had? Lakers lost to Cleveland though, but he had a pretty decent game. He had at least 6-8 points. Let's say he finished with 2 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Okay, so tonight, this must be a day or two ago. Is this 2 days ago? Yeah, because they were showing he made some baskets. So maybe tonight, he made some more baskets. So he finally scored, which everybody, again, he's better than that player named Vincent. That guard, Vincent, watch. It's not going to be long before he takes Vincent's place. Here's one. Should Doug Williams make it to the Hall of Fame? No, let me see. Long history. Should like if we really look at Joe Namath helped the merger. That's one thing when we look at Joe Namath and when they fixed the 68 Super Bowl for an AFC team to win, AFL team to win the first time. That's what cemented Joe Namath in the Hall of Fame. Again, Joe Namath threw the most pick sixes. So, he wasn't a winning quarterback, but he did win that game. And that's pretty much what put Joe Namath in the Hall of Fame. Does Doug Williams get the same treatment? Does he get the same treatment? Because remember, Doug Williams, and it's almost to me like Willie O'Keefe. He played 5 minutes, so, he gets in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And he only played real semi-pro hockey. But so does Doug Williams deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I don't know. He didn't start. The year he won the Super Bowl, he did not start. Schrader was starting, which is a little racism. And then the next year, he didn't start, and they had an interview of Doug Williams crying. So did Doug Williams really have the stats? Or is it, again, a feel-good story because he was the first brother to win the Super Bowl? I ain't hating on nobody, but I don't know. I don't know that if he deserves it. I don't know if Doug Williams really deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. College Hall of Fame because he was America. Oh, I love this chick. She died. All right, little debauchery, the morbid news. I did not know. Let's see what they say about her. No. But Terry Garr died. Let's see if we can. Okay. No, I want to get her picture. Damn. Can't get that little piece. Yeah, Terry Garr died at 79. Wow. She was a little younger. Here she is. This is what's funny about Hollywood and how Hollywood does. I guess her most memorable role would have been in Young Frankenstein. She plays a French or something, and the chick had to learn how to speak a little French with a French accent. She was in some minor movies throughout her life, but never really a star. I mean, you know, what's interesting is these people get in Hollywood and they're able to make a lot of money. And not being stars, which is interesting. Again, if she did Broadway and all that shit, I don't know. Maybe we can find another article about her. But she was someone that was never a star, but yet, you know, she stayed in Hollywood probably her whole life. She was always a side actress, co-star, or something like that. Never a star, never a big breakout star. Again, her most popular role was probably Young Frankenstein. And I think she was a comedian too. So she died. Again, that's the curse of Hollywood. The numbers have to add up when you croak. That's kind of how it goes. The numbers have to add up when you croak. And so I guess the numbers added up for her. So Ward announces death of here. Oh my goodness. Now this might be something for San Francisco. San Francisco's 49er star Charles Ward announced the death of his 1-year-old. Wow. So that might be the spark that gives San Francisco, because they haven't looked too good. But how did he die? How did he die? How? She overcame adversity. Oh, she was sickly then. Doesn't really say. Oh, okay. Oh, she had Down syndrome and heart issues. Okay. Okay. Still doesn't mean it wasn't a sacrifice. Still does not mean it was a sacrifice. Again, it looks like a lot of a cover story. Well, we're sorry to hear for that. We're sorry to hear that, no doubt. We're sorry to hear that. You know, I do have some passion. We're sorry to hear that. What was this? Nicky Jam recedes Donald Trump endorsement. E. coli breakout McDonald's expands. Gosh. And I'll tell you what I love, and I'm going to say really love. I love McDonald's steak sandwich with cream cheese. I mean, it is the bomb. I could eat it every day. I like it so much. If I get my ass up in the morning, I might go have one. But E. coli's link to McDonald's has climbed. To McDonald's quarter pounders, which is their main patty, are focusing on the onions sold. Okay, the onions might be fucked up. They put onions on the sausage, the breakfast sausage, the steak sausage have onions on it. Now been identified across 13 states. 2 victims develop, a serious condition that could cause, was linked to the outbreak early. Believes the raw onions served a topping, a quarter pound most likely, but isn't the onions put on all their sandwiches that got onions? Restaurants after that was discovered. McDonald's will reserve serving the hamburgers in the effective area this week, but sandwiches still will not be served with onions at those locations. Okay. Well, damn. Oh, where did it go? I don't want to see that. Let's see. Oh, it's gone. I want to see the ad. No, I don't want to see all that ad. I saw a pair of my shoes on there. Get off. Take off. And I think I told y'all, this warrior stuff, I've been thinking. This warrior movies, I'm telling you, that movie was shot when I was a boy. I knew of that movie in elementary school. I remember older teenagers telling me about that movie, not my senior year. I saw the movie on TV before 79. So that's definitely a Mandela effect with the Warriors. No way that movie came out my senior year. No way. No way it came out my senior year in high school. It did not. But that's what they're giving it. Oh, what the hell happened? I don't know. The Cartoon Network showed all these Yukamazis, and I don't know. It was a really weird movie. trying to adapt the work of Johnny Ito. He received acclaim drawing the most upsetting images imaginable. Level of effort that popularized his public works made every attempt to adapt them disappointed. Frustrated to watch the legend lose all depth and transition on the scene. So when the team behind Yukimazi explained that their mission was to present as much of his original drawings as possible, reactions was cautiously optimistic. It made more of a triumph when the show premiered, and somehow the animators called over the immense amount of fear into embed his drawings to the screen at least one episode. But there was a huge drop in quality after a while, and this must be one of his. Again, they're trying to show his art and trying to put a story around his art. This was some weird shit. That one of the loudest voices call out is known an industry professional who used X call out what he suspects happened to the show. Well, I don't have any actual behind the scene. It was advertised as a production IG series for years. Even last moment, stayed in a series of tweets. End of the day, it's almost end of the day, huh? I don't know. Any more of the art in here? I mean, the art was like this. Let's see. I mean, this is some weirdo shit, y'all. I mean, this is really some weirdo shit. Like, really weird. But I guess that's what it's about is his art. You know, I guess that's what it's all about the art and catching some of his drawings and shit like that, like this kind of stuff, you know. Everything is about the spiral, as I said before. You know, everything is about the golden ratio, and at the end, it's like the golden ratio destroys everything to rebuild itself. So that was kind of strange, y'all. I must admit that shit was kind of strange. I don't know if it's your cup of tea or not. Let's see, what do we happen today? Whoa, the dollar and the euro. The dollar is worth 92 cents compared to the euro. Again, you go to Europe right now, your money ain't worth very much. Great Britain is even worth less. It's only worth 77 cents. But you got, let me see, how my Ford stock. Damn, Ford, when I was up to 16, I was rolling. Okay, it says gold dropped 19%, still at $27.95, almost 2,800, y'all. Early next year, we're going to see gold hit 3,000. And so all that gold you wearing, have you kept for years, is worth more every day. My chain that I spent $800 for is now worth $1,800. So, okay, and silver is at 33. Silver's at 33. It's just gold. Okay. It shows silver, though. Down here, silver is 33 cents an ounce, which is not bad. It's a lot cheaper to buy a bunch of silver coins because you got all kind of silver coins. But it's a great investment to buy gold. I mean, even platinum. Remember when they lied to you and let everybody wear platinum, and then gold went up in popularity because gold and platinum, don't look very different from each other. And so even platinum, again, look how much more that gold is worth than platinum. And all those years, all the rappers is wearing platinum, so people start buying this bullshit. But when gold is actually worth more. So if you can afford it, it's nice to buy it now. It's nice to buy it now. It's nice to buy it now. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. What is this? Another better. Here we go. Another better pleads guilty to wire fraud and gambling scheme involving ex-Raptor player Jonte Porter. What is it? Mohammed Molah, one of the 5 charged with wire fraud in the Jonte Porter prop bet scheme, pleaded guilty to wire fraud conspiracy. According to the Associated Press, he's facing anywhere from no jail time to up to 20 years and will be sentenced May 2nd. That makes Moala the third person to plead guilty following the Long Phi Pham and Porter himself, who was sentenced December 18th. Two other men. Oh, he will be sentenced then. 2 other men have been charged but not yet entered pleas. The scheme, which resulted in Porter receiving lifetime ban, was carried out last season when Porter was a member of the Raptors. Bettors placed large prop bets on Porter's statistics in two known games, 26 matchup against the Clippers and the Sacramento. In both instances, there was abnormal betting on the under in several categories for Porter. In both instances, Porter was removed from the game early. In the Clippers game, it was due to an injury. In the Kings game, it was because of an illness. According to court documents, Mola knew of Porter's plans to remove himself from the March game and placed bets that they would yield over $1 million to split, according to the involved parties. The activity raised a suspicion of betting company, ultimately prompting an NBA investigation. The NBA has taken steps to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. Aside from his lifetime ban, Lee also reported to reach an agreement with his gambling partners earlier this month to remove prop bets on players who are either 10-day or two-way contracts. Wow. Wow. And it's funny when the players try to get a little piece of the pie, they arrest them. But when the owners and the NBA itself make money, that's all legal. That's all legal. So we know it's some bullshit. We know we going after people on some bullshit. Because they don't want to share the money with the players. Ha! Tekashi 6ix9ine went to jail. Fuck him. I don't give a fuck about him. Y'all can look up that bullshit yourself. I don't give a fuck about some goofy government agent. Culture vulture. You know, there's a government agent. What did Jaguar Rice say about she said that Taya, is that her name? Taya? She won an Academy Award this year, said that she's an FBI agent, which very believable when they come from other countries and all of a sudden they're just the stars of the stars. It makes you think. It makes you think. Like how, you know, when you look at how people just be a star all of a sudden, you know, it's like, what is it? You know, what is it that turns the country on to these people all of a sudden? It just seems very unlikely. This is the part of the show I like. New gear I got, you know. So went to the outlet. And got this pair of shoes. And I'll show. See if that show. $34. You see that? It was $34. $34 and 30% off. So I got these shoes for $24. And as you can see on the box, they say Nike Emberons Low. And for $23, I got these. And I'm not going to wear these. I'm going to give these to my son for Christmas because him and I both wear 14s. I've got some Terminators that this color. It's a basic Nike, but for $24, it's not a bad deal. So I'm not going to wear them. These are a gift. It's kind of cool. The Nike in the back. It's got that kind of bottom, that kind of sole. There we go. I forgot to bring them in here, but the deal of the day was Costco was selling 501s, not just the stretchy ones, the regular 501s too for $15. And you know, I've got probably 20 pair of 501s. That's mostly what I wear every day is 501s. But for $15, I bought 2 of them. So this is a Christmas gift to my son. I don't know like the inspiration in the shoe and everything, but sometimes it's too hard to deal to it's too good a deal to turn down, especially when the holidays coming. Thank you. My other thing is, let me show you. I might have to get up just to give you the full experience. Hold on. All right, let me show you the full experience. Yeah, I got this one. It's got the feather on the side. And you know, this one's stiffer than my other one. This brim is stiffer, but you can still capone it, you know. I wear a hat, I got a capone it. But this is a little stiffer hat than my other one. And again, it has the diamond bread, you know, the way it's broken down up top. You know how some hats be straight. This has kind of got what I think they call it the diamond. But again, I love, you know, I love these winter hats. You dig? And just to show you the difference between the two, this one doesn't have a feather, which I've ordered one to put on here. But this is, I mean, this isn't as stiff. This isn't as stiff. See, it compones a lot easier. It isn't as stiff. So, but again, the kind of diamond here. Again, this one's not as stiff. This one's not as stiff as the other one. So, and I love the shipping boxes because they're hat boxes, you know? Like they charge $18 for a hat box. I got them all around here, but and yeah, I'm gonna get to play one of them on Friday because I'm going to see Tony Rock on Friday. We get at our comedy club. Tony Rock is gonna be at the comedy club, so you know I'm probably gonna have the white fur on, the white winter fur on, have one of them Godfather hats on, you know, some fresh to death shoes. You dig? I'm gonna go in that motherfucker. You know, my shit is always correct wherever I go. My shit be correct. You know. Oh, so you know how it is. You know how it is. Anytime you go out, you should, you know, look the best that you can do. That's all. So that's something we look. Oh, and we're my part of what we're gonna do is part of why we going out is already we've been married. The Tuesday the 5th. Tuesday the 5th. It'll be a year we was married. So it's been a quick year. We've lived together for 2 years. You know, I've been in this room for 2 years now. So, you know, time waits for no one. Time waits for no one. We met 2 years ago and we pretty much ain't been, other than when she went to Spain, we've been apart together the whole time. So really great 2 years. I could say the only time better is each birth of my children, you know. But it's been a great 2 years. And so we get to celebrate that. You know, Halloween is tomorrow, and it's funny. I was reading some Catholic Christians, some Christian person said they were saved, and they're talking about how demonic tomorrow is, or even right now, and when really the opposite is true. I mean, this holiday goes back further than just Hallows Eve. You know, it goes back further. This was an American tradition that was taken over by the Europeans. And, you know, again, when they take over things, they tend to make it more demonic to make you stay away from it. But what the celebration really is kind of a thinning of the veil for those of you that do have altars to relatives or all. Yeah. And it's a great time to give those things offerings because the veil is kind of thin for that. Now, I was also reading, they say when most people get sacrificed on Halloween, when these what do I want to call them? The elites that do practice infant mortality. Guess that's the best way to say that. You know, yeah, this is the biggest night of infant mortality for them. You know, they get a lot out of this because Hollywood is really wicked. You know, there's no good and evil because sometimes you need a little evil in your life, you know? I mean, something happens and you don't want, you want to be able to have that little bit of evil to react on things. Sometimes the evil needs to come like Penguin tonight. That young boy stuttered. He was pressed by a dude because they showed earlier, they set it up and showing the dude sees they're living in one of the raggedy houses they're trying to hide out. But the dude pressed him, and he done, Penguin's guy done blasted a dude or two. He done killed a couple people because he ran two people over or ran one dude over with the car and crushed him. So dude has kind of got, dude shot the dude. Dude was like, okay, I'm going to show you where the shit is, and turned around and gave him one in the neck. So that was pretty interesting. Penguin's actually pretty good. I'm pretty sure they'll get a second season. So I caught up with it. I think I watched all 6. All right, I'm not gonna go too late. I don't know. My son said he's gonna have a ride tonight. He's been staying with us last day and today. He claims he's staying. So, but anyway, so oh, and here it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain all day, and it's gonna be wet. So we'll see. It's supposed to be kind of cool because we had Tuesday it was 80. Tuesday here, it was 80 degrees. They said this is probably the last 80-degree day of the year. Today was noticeably colder. I wore a sweatsuit like I wear most days. If I don't wear 501s, I wear a sweatsuit. And I was able to, long as I had a long sleeve shirt under my sweat jacket, it was fine. It wasn't too bad. It was only probably in the high 40s, low 50s maybe. It was a mild day, but we're supposed to get rain starting any time. It's going to rain. So probably be a great night of sleep, for sure. And I imagine now we have more children around, so we'll hand out candy. We'll see if we'll turn our light and see if anybody comes by. Because last year, nobody came by. And that's fucked up. You buy all this candy and then nobody comes. So, but as I was mentioning, tomorrow is a good day, to give thanks to ancestors that you miss. Tomorrow's a great day for that. Regardless of what the Catholics say or the church says, tomorrow's a great day for that. That's part of what is there. Tomorrow's there to celebrate. Just like, in Mexico, they still celebrate the Day of the Dead. It's very similar. And so, here, America and the Catholic Church and the Catholics and the Christians, they want to make everything demonic, especially when it comes to dying. They emphasize the best thing or what you should do is just want to live and be afraid of death, because that's what they teach it to you. That's what they teach you, is to be afraid of death. That's why a person will put a bunch of radiation in their body just to live. I mean, since I got sick, they've been giving me this bullshit that I know this is the last month I'm taking that shit. Because they know, long-term exposure for some of this bullshit they give you. They know that ain't really meant to, it's like they have so many diseases that actually, it's disease that can be cured. But yet, what do? There's no money in cures. There's no money in cures at all. There's only money in sickness and treatment. But isn't it funny now, like an athlete get hurt? Like before, when you tore your Achilles, you were pretty much done. Now, shit. It took me a year and a half to learn how to walk after tearing my Achilles. Again, I tore it at 50. So it was a little harder for me to come back from it. But plus, I had 2 leg surgeries around the same time. But it took me a year. And now you got these athletes, 8-9 weeks with constant rehab, like that Freddie that played with Atlanta, won a World Series, that was MVP of the Dodgers. He'd been hurt the whole time. He would have to go damn near sleep in the clubhouse to get treatment. I mean, that's how much treatment and sports medicine has come along. You know, hey, I don't care how bad you tore it up, we can get you back out there. And you know, some people like Kevin Durant, you can see that he's lost a lot of his quickness. He's not able to get by people as quick as he once did. You know, so we can see like that's where LeBron just getting older. But it was funny a couple years ago as LeBron got older, you could see the difference in people catching up with him. His shot was getting blocked a little easier, and I think, and it almost seems like they told people to take it easy on LeBron, because that one season that was about his 15th, 16, you could just see he ain't really have it. Everybody's blocking his shit, and I think they was like, you guys need to give LeBron these lanes again. And you know, everybody's tripping about Dwayne Wade's statue. Hey, and he approved it. He vetted it and he approved it. So if he approved it, what can we say? But I don't know who that shit looks like. They say it looks like, what was the old Celtic? They say it looked like the old Celtic. I don't know. This shit just look funny. I know I talked about this a couple days ago, but I don't know. Did y'all see the pictures where he approved this shit? Like, what was he thinking in here when he looked at that shit? Now he does have the extra long jaw, but see, he's looking at this shit. He's showing that you look how they clouding him. Antoine Walker. That's who they say it looks like. Antoine Walker. Hey, but they say he didn't know about it. They showed him in there. He knew absolutely about it, so he thought it looked like him here. And he said it looked like the most beautiful thing. Oh, all the points tonight was in Cleveland? Okay. What I watched must have been something else. Okay. He scored his points. Okay. Looks like it. Yeah, Antoine Walker. Exactly. It looks like Antoine Walker. Don't look like him, but I mean, I guess in his own way, I mean, it does have he has a really long jaw, almost like that dude on Family Guy. He has a super long jaw. I don't know, of all the things that they could have gave him. Well, he's got a statue and they call it him, so. It's just comedy, y'all. It's just comedy. What is all these motherfucking statues? You find one statue and they want to sell you some shit. Let's see if there's any statue worth buying. What is this? Oh, Deadpool. Why no motherfucking Deadpool statue? X-Men? No. Wyatt Earp? No. Wade England? No, what is that bullshit? Yeah, it's some bullshit. Oh, it's just some bullshit. Let me see. Is this sneaker news worth it? So again, you know, I just showed those, but these are coming back. These were the ones that were banned. And I remember when I moved to Michigan in 85, my friend had a brand new pair of these and he was like so happy. And I'm like, yeah, those shoes ain't no better than the Cons. I think my first Nikes was the Airships. I had the Airships was my first ones, but I didn't care for these. I mean, they cool, but these I think were the ones banned, and then they had the ones more black here and red around the toe. So yeah, Breed 85s. Yeah, so these will probably sell out, but I won't be buying a pair of them motherfuckers. Yeah, I think my first Nike was Airship, and I found it in the book, the Nike book that shows every pair of shoes. I found it on that. And then what was interesting about the shoes is up close, the shoe looked blue, but from the stands viewpoint, the shoes almost look purple. They almost look purple, and they were they had a little more support than these Jordans did at the time. I thought it was a little better shoe. So, but it looked purple. I think it was Airship. I have an orange pair of Airships. I'll tell you, the sweet one is the Atlanta one. I think it's the Atlanta Airship. Let me see. Because it has an A on the ankle. So that's why I like Terminators. You know, I've got 3 or 4 pair of Terminators. I got 1 pair of Comforts. So, you know, I enjoy the art of the shoe. But what is this Airship called? Let me see. Now I'll look it up. Here it is. Yeah, this one's sweet. I'll look this one up and show y'all this one. This Airship is nice. Oh, and the ships are Jordans. What is this? I think it's, yeah, this pair. I wanted to see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is a sweet pair. I don't know the price here, but I'm looking here on StockX. You can get these for $90. Yeah, size 13. I could get these. It's got, let's see. Can you see that like right here? Oh, let me see that. It's got that A right there, the extra little stitching. The stitching here, the way it's kind of is that snake skin like? I like these. I like these. 93, I might get these. It's got the snake skin back with, see the detail? See the detail of it? I like these. I like these better looking at them big than I did. And then it's got the kind of the padded collar, you know, ankle support. So I like Airships. I like Airships too. So yeah, but StockX got these 93 plus 15 shipping. So I do like these. I do like these. They are one of my favorites. And that's what Jordan wore. When Jordan came in the league, he was wearing the Airships. You know, the first basketball player signed by Nike was, damn, I didn't take my pills, was Moses Malone. And those, you know, everybody remembers the Gerving poster, but do y'all remember the Malone poster? Shit. Ah, there it is. Ooh. Because when you used to get Nikes, they came with posters. But yeah, 77, I didn't buy the first pair. I think they was Airships too that Gerving wore, I think. Maybe you guys know a little bit. Think they're called, yeah, the Awake New York Airship. Yeah, so I think I'm going to get a pair of those. I don't know. I have not a lot of places to put these motherfuckers. But, you know, I love the art. You know, and that's one thing about the community. You know, it's like I've said before, I have every right to wear the shoes because, like, my life has been around sports shoes. You know, I've said many times, you know, my first pair of tennis shoes was Beta Bullets that Bill Russell wore. And then I end up getting some Red Ball Jets, which I think is by Goodyear or PF. And then, I had a pair of Red Ball Jets. And then I had a pair of PF Flyers, which is Goodyear, or what's the other place called? One of the tire companies. I never got that before. The PF stands for one of the tire companies. So one time the tire companies made tennis shoes. Goodyear made a tennis shoe. Matter of fact, is it still Goodyear that makes the Doc Marten soles and makes the Timberland soles? I think it's still Goodyear or what's the PF stand for? One of the tire companies though still makes the majority of soles for boots. And I'm pretty sure Doc Martin does. Take one of these motherfuckers. I've been on. Okay. I might go for an hour and a half. And I've said many times, you know, the feeling of I mean, it's like now we get shoes but it's like in a way, the only thing that really is the excitement about sneakers is the drops. The drops get like people don't understand the feeling that used to be. You know, there's like Michael Jordan said, he switched to shoes, you know, new pair of shoes every day, because think about how you felt when you got new tennis shoes. Felt like you could jump higher. That's what the commercials used to say. Run faster, jump. But that was an individual feeling that you had too. You know, and then when you was able to get new shoes and play in a game or practice and playing them a game, I mean, it gave you that good feeling again, which is kind of, you know, kind of lost. Kind of lost. And I've said before, you know, when I got my first pair of Converse, the first pair I got was Converse Coaches. It was a Coach. That's what it was called. And again, it was the difference in the canvas. The Chuck Taylors had two, you know. And what was the other? The blue-toed Converse. We used to wear them. I can't think of what they're called, but the blue-toed Converse is the white shoe, and it had the blue ring around the tip of the shoe. It had the, you know, in front had a little ring there, but those was Converse. And those was probably one of their comfort shoes or just hanging out shoes. But it was a big deal. I said, my stepfather said he would never pay $12 for a pair of shoes. And then my mother feeling sorry for me with me because I think the Chuck Taylors was $12. The Coaches was $6. So my mother splurged and got me the Coach. And then my father bought me my first pair of Chuck Taylors. Quality material on certain shoes. Oh yeah, let me tell you what's coming out December, let me see. December, what is it? Let me get it. December, is it 21st? No. 14th. Jordan 11s. Now I bought the low top of the Jordan 11 and the quality is crap. Something, I mean, it's something on the patent leather that I can't seem to clean off with leather cleaner. I don't know what the fuck the shit is. I rarely wear the shoes, but the quality is just not there. They, you know, wearing the Jordan 11s almost feels as taxing on my feet as wearing the Air Force Ones, the Jordan ones, Air Jordan ones. I mean, there's nothing in that shoe. So now they're going to have this new shoe come out that I bought the original, and I'll say, you know, my 14s were the best one they ever came out with when he was young. When I was playing a lot, he was playing a lot. 14 was by far the best shoe they had created, I think, back then. The 11s at the time, and what I always loved about was the air units. The air units until the hexagon, I think, or the hexalite that was in the Reeboks, until that came out. The Jordans with the air they put in the Jordan soles was the most unique and gave the most cushion. Now I've said before, the Shacks, the Reebok Shacks, terribly comfortable. And I only think he came out with one of them. It had that hexalite in it, and I mean, a super comfortable shoes. But I've said before, like in the summer of '86, I bought the Worthy New Balance. And it was the first sole. It had the first sole that molded to your feet. It was a great outdoor shoe. I loved it. I played my semi-pro summer league that first year. I made the all-star team and played in the all-star game. But it was like those shoes were a big surprise how well they were. And I played a lot outdoors. I mean, I don't think I ever played indoors with those shoes. But those were New Balance, the James Worthy version of the New Balance. Yeah. Oh. What cleaner am I using? I've got I have some leather upholstery cleaner. So I got some really good cleaner. But it just whatever. I don't know I don't even wear those shoes that often. I just noticed it was some on the toe and it don't seem to come off. So, but again, yeah, the quality of the Jordans coming out of the retros. It's not the same shoe. It's not the same shoe. Like a lot of times they'll tell you that the tech is in the shoe. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like the tech's in the shoe. And that's why I don't get why people hate on the new shoes so much. Like when you get a new shoe, they give you all this that goes into this new shoe. But yet they want to tell you that these shoes they release are better shoes. Them Air Ones ain't comfortable. I mean, you know, even with my orthotics, they're not comfortable. I beat the Warriors video game. The same guy that made Grand Theft Auto made the Warriors game called Rockstar. It was a pretty good game. Okay. Watering, walking with Jesus. Okay.
You can't get too close to Michael. It's a foul.
I wore a lot of Air Night flights when I played high school ball. The best pair I ever played in was the Penny Flight 1. Okay. I've never owned a pair of them. I never owned a pair of them. So really don't have any opinion. Like I showed those David Robertsons that my wife wrote on. David Robertson had an entry-level shoe, and then the one that Weber, I think, wore for Nike. That was a pretty good shoe, too. When Barkley's shoes, you know, the one Pippins, the Pippins, those were a pretty good shoe, too. Heavy, but a lot of stability in the shoe. So the Max, when they started putting the Max in shoes, I feel like Jordan Brand needs to step back and drop less retros per month. That's a good point. Because, like, you know, you really like 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. You really don't want to wear them shoes. Not often. I mean, you going out for a summer day, you can wear it if you ain't going to be on your feet. But like a dude who did a breakdown of the shoe, he showed you can't wear Jordan 1s all day. There's just not enough support in them. Now, some people don't have a problem. Some people don't have foot problems, which you're lucky, but not me. I wear insoles in every pair. So, water walking, that joint is crazy. I thought when they released it, water walking, that joint is crazy. I bought when they released it. Okay. You can still get the little penny doll and shit. Yeah, them pennies were 7 ounces light on the feet. Okay. Use lemon juice mixed with white vinegar to clean shoes. Okay. I'll try that. Because there's something on them motherfuckers. And not like I mentioned, I don't wear them that often, so I can't imagine what spilled on them that wouldn't wipe off the patent leather. So I don't know. That's why I had to start rotating and taking shoes off, so I make sure I wear them, because you need to wear them to keep the rubber good. So these one in this shoe tree, this 20 pairs in this shoe tree thing, I grab them every now and then and wear them. And my one thing I forgot to mention, I got when I showed that Nike jacket and pants set, I didn't realize that's Ant's clothes. That's Ant clothing line. I was looking at a picture of Ant, and Ant's wearing that that jacket I got. He got the jacket. I'm like, oh shit, this was Ant shit for $50. So pretty cheap. I pull a pair of Jordan 1s out every blue moon. Yeah, I got, like I'm saying, I got 3 pair of Terminators. I've got at least 3 pair of Jordan 1s, if not 4. I got the Comfort pair, and then what do I got here? That's the 1 pair. Oh, and then what was the other ones I was thinking about? Oh, and then I have mid. I like the mid tongues. I like that thicker tongue on the mids. I really do. A lot of people don't like the mids, but I like that thicker tongue. I think to me that stands out to the shoe. So I like the mids because I love that thicker tongue. So I got 1 pair of mids. But but like you said, buying these retros, like I've been wearing them Jordan 39s, and it's no comparison. I mean, that was my point of showing, like, the new shoes are so much better than these retros, but then they telling you they lose their value. I got a pair of LeBron, 21s for $50, because it had been sitting $50. This is a $200 shoe. I think the new LeBrons coming out is going to be $180. I don't know if I like that colorway, if I'm going to get them, but new shoes are far superior to walk around in. Definitely to play in. A lot of these retros, you ain't playing nothing in them but walking around in them. But to me, it makes sense to walk around in the new shoes. They're more comfortable. They're way more comfortable. Hardest material to clean is nubuck and suede. Well, yeah, because you remember having Tim's when Tim's and that suede gets messed in that nubuck, you get some design gets put in your Tim's, they no good to you. That's why I like having the ones without suede or nubuck. I don't think any of my winter boots have those. They just all straight leather. Yeah, PJ, I got it when it first came out for the Xbox. A great game to beat some of the levels. It's just like the movie. Oh, cool. Got to put a towel in the nubuck pair when cleaning. Okay. But it's still hard to get when you get, scuff on that nubuck or that suede, when you get a scuff on them. And I think I told the story before when I wore the high top pro kids, I would call them the Nate Archibalds, the tiny Archibalds. Because you see a lot of picture of him wearing, I had the red pair, and I think I had the blue pair when I was in 7th grade, made the 8th grade team. I think I had the blue pair. Then in 8th grade, I bought the red pair, and they would literally change the color of your shoe. When your feet sweat, if you had the blue ones, your sock would be blue. When you had the red ones, your sock would be red. And then I think my freshman year, I wore, what did Jabbar wear? The All-Star, All-American maybe, because it was nylon with the shell toe. Had the red, white, and blue 3 stripes. More of a nylon-like shoe. Super comfortable. I should have tried to play in them the next year. Because next year they put me in them Chuck Taylors and it destroyed my legs. I found that boot eraser to work. Oh, okay. Boot eraser. Okay. On Tim's. Okay. I think I gave, do I have a pair of Tim's still? I know I gave my youngest son a pair, so I'm not sure if he still, if I had to check my boots. I was looking today. I found a pair of Nike boots from last year that was 88 at DMW. So the Geode or whatever they're called. But it doesn't have the air pocket, so that's why they're cheaper. But they got the white ones. What is this called? Show you what I like. And I just, man, what are these motherfuckers called? Oh, here we go. Show you these motherfuckers. Now I may have showed them before. But I like these. I just don't know if I want to drop 180 for these motherfuckers. No, that ain't them. Gee. That did right. G-O, yeah. D-O-M-E. Oh, they showed them. Yeah, these. I may have showed them before, but these are pretty correct. Oh, here we go. I don't know. These are pretty correct. I'm just might bite the bullet and have to get these. Again, they got plenty of sizes, but these motherfuckers and all the shit I wear, these would go nice with the shit I wear. Now, the ones I saw today are like this, except without the air unit. You can get a pair like this without the air unit, and they're only 88. It just doesn't have this air unit. It's the same on top, but just doesn't have the air unit. So I might go pick them up. But I don't know. This white goes hard. Now these are more nubuck, see? So I would stay away from these. And then again, they don't have the bigger sizes. I don't know if this kind is nubuck or not. No, I like these. Again, they're big out of the big sizes of that. I like these. I really like these. So I'm probably going to get these. Okay. So I like these again, is it worth where I can get these? They just ain't got the Air Max, but it's the same boot for 88. I mean, the way I wear boots, is it really worth it? Because, I'm buying the color, but it's the same boot other than it doesn't have Air Max in it. But it's the same freaking boot. And I like this style. They made a girl boot a couple years ago that was basically this style. And now they're putting them in. So I don't know. Do I want to drop 180 on this one? I just don't know. When I can get something closer to this for 80 bucks. So I don't know, y'all. I found it at DSW just messing around. It's like, oh, this would be cheaper and I ain't going to wear them that often. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. What are these? Oh, ASOC Rocky made a Puma. What are these? These are 80s, 60s. I kind of like all shoes. You know, I've got my walking shoes are a pair of 10 somethings. But these don't look bad. They're 80s, 60s SV2. Oh, I got these. I got these in the closet. What are they running for? 89? Yeah, I got these in the closet. Notice no size. This must be okay. Yeah, I got these in the closet. And what's interesting is his new shoe, he went back to this, where this is kind of separated. You got the air pocket here and you got the air pocket there. Super comfortable shoe. Super. Might be one of the most comfortable shoes I have, but I got these in the closet. So yeah, you know, that's a lot of what I do. Because every time I've seen, I've got to be clean, you know. Just putting together outfits and shit. Y'all know how it is. You can just put the shit together and then just be smooth with it. That's all. That's all. I just like looking good. I like taking care of myself, you know. I don't have to dress like a Mason. I don't have to wear a suit and tie. That ain't the only way to look good anymore. Is to wear suit and ties. That ain't the only way to look good. You know, that's what they want to push. You wear a suit and tie. You know, like I don't have any more club clothes. You know, the kind of clothes you wear to a club. I have, you know, I just bought a couple more dress pants to go with my suit coats. But, you know, I don't even have club clothes anymore. You know? I don't go to the club like that anymore. I can't wear gaiters anymore. I mean, you know, they hurt my feet. So, all right, I guess this is the part of the show where I give a spiritual message. You know, I'm a spiritual ass nigga. And as I was talking to Halloween and stuff, I guess I should give a little time to the spiritual kind of stuff. And it's funny, like, you know, I don't try to like shove reality and stuff and all that kind of stuff. Dressing like a Mason. Yeah, dressing like a Mason. What do you think the George Washington is? What do you think the suit and tie comes from? That's the George Washington. That's Mason wear. I mean, think about a man's clothes. A man's clothes ain't never changed. It's been a suit and tie since 1700s. Like a prime example is, let me give you those of you, I'm pretty sure everybody out there has watched the Three Stooges one time or another in their life. I'm sure everybody out there has watched the Three Stooges. You ever notice when they become plumbers or painters, they put coveralls over a suit? Do you understand? In the 30s and 40s, the motherfuckers wore suits. And if they had to do hard work, they would put a cover on over the suit. But they always wore suits. And I'm saying, you know, that's forever. That going back to Washington, Lincoln, forever, the suit for a man ain't changed. How's it that women can wear all this different shit? Their clothes ain't the same, but a man clothes still a suit and tie. Make that make sense. So we saying that you can dress, there's a lot of ways to dress nice. One thing I love about the NFL players, they ain't wearing them hard shoes when they talk and they be on their feet. Y'all notice that? The NFL players be talking or the NBA players be talking. When Kenny Smith and Charles and them, they don't, you know, wear hard ass flat shoes. Whoa. Yeah, everybody saw the Three Stooges, but you just noticed that when they do work, they put coveralls over their suits. And that's how often they wear. And everybody wore hats, suits and hats. And you know, like the shit they put in, and like where the hat goes back. Now, this, I guess I can kind of, like where the hat comes in play, especially outside. You should never go, and this is Zosterism for Zoster. But Zoroastrianism is wear hats everywhere you go. When you leave the house, you wear a hat. You never go in the earth bareheaded. And now all the cloud seeding and shit they put in the air, you really don't want to be outside without a hat. Women got hair that can protect themselves from that shit and they can wash that shit out. But, you know, that's Zoroastrianism. You always want to wear a hat. That's where that comes. That's how far back that comes from. That's what he taught. You never leave the house. That's what they say, protect your crown. That's the idea of it, is to protect your crown all the time. Now there's times the sun and you at the beach and shit. But yeah, wearing hats all the time is a spiritual thing. Because of the long history where it really came from. So I never leave the house without a hat. I know the first and one's pretty good. I bought a pair from Walmart 2 years ago, and that first pair of shoes I ever got a hole in the bottom just from playing ball and just paid $15. I said I talked about the Stan and Barry, the Marlboro shoes. Remember Ben Wallace was pushing them, and they were plastic shoes. It was just like I bought a pair of And Ones in around 2010, all plastic shoes. It was better sold than the Stephen Barry, whatever those was called. But them shoes only cost about $15. Like I love, like, you know, I've said before, when I moved here, knockoffs was king. And the knockoffs was just as good as what you buying now. You know, the knockoff retros was just as good, if not better. I bought one pair of threes that the sole was clear. Whichever it was clear, was the threes or fours would have the clear sole. They fucked up on that one. You couldn't hoop in them. The sole had zero grip. To make it clear, they couldn't get it clear and sticky at the same time. But to buy my little boys that shit, and they fucked them up. And then when the Stan and Barry's came out, I ain't care. Fuck them shoes all up. I'll go get you another pair in a couple weeks. And I think at the time, those knockoff Jordans for little boys was like $25. $25. So, you know, I didn't have a problem getting them. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you can fuck some, especially you play outdoors, you know, you can fuck some shoes up, especially cheap shoes. And the thing with cheap shoes is, you know, the grip is what. But now, you know, there's so much competition that it's like really the beautiful thing that Nike and having Nike outlet has done is there's no reason a person shouldn't have a quality shoe. If the outlets have done anything, it is to give the chance for every child to have a quality shoe. Like those shoes I bought, there's nothing wrong with them. It's like my nephew, his grandmother doesn't understand. She'll buy him shoes from Tamu and be like bragging because of this, it's the cheapness. But that is what it is. It's cheapness. So I think for Christmas, we're going to buy him a pair of Nikes for sure. Because again, you know, it's not keeping up with the Joneses, but you just don't want to be like, you just wear cheap stuff. She's trying to teach him the lesson, you know, you don't have to have name brand stuff, but the world shows you really do. And so, you know, when he's getting into the age where you want to attract women and you want to be sharp. And so it's a cheap way to be sharp. Like if I can get him a good pair of shoes every day for $50, and they real good shoes, real good Nikes, some unique. So, you know, that's the great thing about it. If you just that kind of shop, or even the gear is real affordable. The gear is real affordable. So. But that's, you know, that goes into, you know, the spiritual thing of wanting to look good. Like I don't dress up so people tell me I look good. I dress up because I want to feel good looking good. You know, I don't give a fuck if nobody ever notices me. Like I told my uncle's like, well, you're putting shit on Facebook to get attention. I'm like, nigga, I played on TV for 3 years. How much more attention do I need in my life? I don't need attention like that. Even this shit, you know, on my lives, unless they force me to, I don't even charge for these. I don't never ask for likes. I don't ever ask for donations. Like I've said many times, I got it. So why would I ask y'all for it? And that's what gets me is niggas be asking for that shit. Well, do the likes and do, you know, fuck that. You want to do it, do it. You don't, I don't care. You know, it don't really affect me one way or another. This is not my livelihood. This is something I do to blow off steam. And then I respect the other people that come to it and have 80, 90 subscribers and they never charge a day in their life. They never ask for likes, none of that shit too. There's people out there like that. But you got a lot of hustlers out here and they need these checks from ABC and that it was called, or whoever the fuck who makes YouTube. A lot of niggas need these checks. They depend on this shit, you know? And that's why they be so butthurt when they take it away. You don't depend on it, you ain't gonna be butthurt. Like, okay, it's something I do as a hobby. It's something I do to blow off steam. If I can give a message, be it spiritual, be it sports, you know, whatever it is, whatever a person can relate to, then I've done my job. I'm rewarded just in life. I get paid for being me. You know, I look good just to look good for me. I love jerseys. I love hats. You know, I've always loved sneakers. So these are things that I just naturally love. And so that's why I talk about them, because it's just things I like. Now I'm getting back into music. You know, I bought a couple albums and I'm sorry I haven't showed them to you. You know, some albums I had as a child, I'm really buying them. I'm about to buy a better stereo system, you know, better turntable, because I want to start listening to music on a turntable again, because it does have a different vibration. And I honestly think that listening to Jimi Hendrix at 18, 19, 20, 21 and on helped clear my mind. I really think his music is the one music that can cut up some of this calcification. And I think a lot of ways that's why he was shut down too, because his music was made to open your mind. Now there's some bullshit songs, but some of the songs really is there to, you know, wake something inside of you. Based on, you know, a little bit of rockabilly, a little bit of blues, rock, you know. And a lot of times I just listen to jazz. You know, I want to listen to high vibrational music. But, you know, I'm trying to, you know, get the music from my house where it's just the crispest. And I know it can be done. I used to do it when I was younger. So putting it together a piece at a time. And, you know, give me some nice speakers, not to blast, but to hear those fine, you know, hear all the music. And that's what a lot of our time should be, is to raise our vibration. As I said before, when you go to work in the morning, you know, when you leave the house, you should be just vibrant. You know, you're attacking a fresh day, regardless of what you're facing, you should still be vibrant. You ever get fired and then go in there on your last day still dressed up and still be vibrant because you know that no matter what they say, it ain't the end of the road? Ain't nothing like quitting the job. That's one of the greatest feelings in the world, where you be like, hey, fuck this shit. I can't do this shit anymore. I'm going to go do something else. And that's, you know, no matter what, you just have to shine and find a way to shine no matter what you're facing. And I imagine that mostly good people do check me out when they do check me out. Yeah, not good, but, you know, thoughtful people, caring people. That's why I always say, you know, I give freely. Because, you know, as much as I am generationally hurt about the past of what was done to melanated people, you know, that's my personal thing. That still generationally bothers me. But despite that, we are all people. That's why it's never about one individual. It's never about that. It's never about an individual. It's never I'm pointing one finger at one person. It's never that. And so the real thing is really, you know, getting along, loving your brother, getting along. No, that's the best thing. I mean, we are looking at some really scary and very wicked times, more wicked every day. And how do we stay above that? How do we stay above that? How do we stay above that to keep the love and the goodness in us? Oh, yeah, abundance to all. El Dragon, Amaroon Khan, and the Calm. Thank you for coming.
You can't get too close to Michael, it's a foul. You can't get too close.
And so, if anything, it's just, I want to put that message of just confidence. Confidence is being. That's all confidence is being. And it's like it's so much hate on women and stuff instead of brothers like Macbone was trying to do and tell brothers how to show the game of gamemanship. And it's not trying to trick anybody. It's again, pimping is nothing more than getting people to do your will. It's not all of just, again, it's style. And it's people really to get people to do your will. That's kind of what it is. Or get people to go along with what you're doing. Convince people to go along with what you're doing. That's all. So you can go anywhere and pimp people. That's all it is. You go to a business, it don't matter if you went to Burger King or whatever, before you know it, you are running that motherfucking people doing everything you ask. Or they're doing it the way that you put it in there. And so that's what pimping is. You start a job and before you know it, you running the place without having to run the place. That's what pimping is. And that's what pimping life is. That's what the game of life is to figure out how to get everybody around you to work with you instead of fight you. Because sometimes you be around motherfuckers and motherfuckers would really one thing I hate about high school coaches is a high school coach will lose to prove a point to a parent. They will hold back a child they know will make their team better, but because of some kind of it's a lot of God complex for sure. I could make you or break you. Because I had a coach try to break me at 18. Didn't see it. Told one school to quit recruiting me altogether, Central Michigan. They told me they was actively recruiting me and was going to bring me down there. And then I'll never hear from them again. So I know this comes from my coach. Again, he tried to destroy me at 18 years old. And there's many, many stories like that. Coaches had these God complexes. Well, I can help you go to school or I can take it away from you. Well, I had my success despite of him. Because I was a great athlete. You dig? Better person. And when it boils down to what this reality is, it's like, what are you? Doesn't matter what this reality is. It's what are you? What do you have inside of you that glows? Does your heart glow? Because your heart is like an atom bomb. It glows. It expands. What do people do when they see you? Do people feel better when they see you? Do you always have something encouraging to say to people? When I go walk, I speak to everybody. I mean, if I go a couple of times, I won't double speak to them, but I'll at least speak to them once to say, because so often we go through people where once it was common to speak to people. Now it's not even common to speak to people anymore. We ignore each other. Oh, they're going by. Oh, let's walk fast. They're going by. Oh, they're gone. I ain't got to think about them again. And one thing I've noticed is when I speak to people, a lot of them give me a beautiful smile. And that they show you that the world is really good. They show, just simple speaking to people can show you how good the world really is and how we really feel about each other. And granted, just speaking to people is just a common courtesy thing. But again, you can see the goodness in all of us. And no matter what the people are going through, I speak to them and for that moment, they're like, there's something cool about him. I don't feel threatened. And that's how I think we all are one thing we should strive to be. Where other people can see the goodness that we're putting out there. Or the joy or the bliss that we are. That other people can see it in you. That you generally are just cool people. Generally just cool people. You dig? Coach did the same shit to me my 11th and 12th grade year. Team went 5-15. Yeah, yeah, 5 and 15. Exactly. My son's junior year in high school, they beat the team that won the state champion. The 7-footer that came out of Maple Grove. He played with the Pistons. I think he's still with the Pistons, but he was a 7-footer. When he was in ninth grade, they beat him. And then when he was in ninth grade, Maple Grove won the state. But my son's high school beat him, and players pleaded with him to let my son play. He would rather lose the state championship than play my son. I mean, that just shows you they don't care if they lose, especially, they got a tenure and, they don't care. But coaches have God complexes. Now I run into it time and time again. Especially high school coaches. That's why the NIL is changing that. And now you can get that bread where, okay, I done made enough bread. I don't like you, coach. I got enough bread that me and my mama my daddy, we can buy a house over there. I got enough bread where, I'm going to move over there. So fuck what you talking about. So you can't say that I transferred to go hoop. Well, yeah, I did, but I got the money to buy the house where I want to go live, to make more bread instead of being stuck by you. I had a coach we lost my junior year. We had a good team. I think we only lost 3 or 4 games all year. We had a really good team. And we played with a really brand new ball, which is a big mistake. And, not knowing the rules, we lost the game. My friend was dribbling and dribbled the ball off his leg. Instead of picking it up, he put his hands behind his back and tried to guard the ball with his body. You can always pick the ball up. But anyway, after the game, one of the players said something, and the coach told him, don't even try out next year. Don't even come out. And he didn't. When really there was no reason. He had done nothing that warranted that other than the frustration the coach had because he knew we had a good team. And we lost the first game in the districts. Team that we played 4 times, let me say that. They won 2 and we won 2. So that they quit doing that, where you play a team 4 times during the year. Most teams generally only play twice. But we played Christmas tournament, we played them, and then we played them the first game, and then we played them the last game. And we won 2, they won 2. So that's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate part about the sacred ball game, But the main thing is everything is about us. It's really about the individual and the way you tackle the world and the way people perceive you and the way people see growth in you. Like you get with a couple, you see growth within each other. You got a wife or girl, whatever. You should see growth in the relationship. You should see what you brought good. You should see what you brought negative. And then you try to work a balance between the two. I mean, if it's important to you, if it's important to you. And that's why, we have this disruption now. They call elections, which is actually, everybody knows it's a selection. So, to divide people. A lot of high school coaches have big egos. They don't want to admit when they have one kid helping the whole team win and do a good job. The kid stands out too much. They don't like it. Indeed. A lot of coaches don't want players that's bigger than them. I mean, I know my football coach was like that. He didn't want players that was bigger than them. He was the coach that wanted all the credit. And if there was more credit on the players than him, he didn't dig that too much. So now, and it's funny is all my high school coaches, my JV coach is still alive. And they tell me my football coach, who I hate, he's the only man in this world I hate. Because again, he tried to destroy me at 18. Literally tried to destroy me. I mean, one of the most wicked motherfuckers I ever been around, and I understand how people like that came into my life and what their world was. But it didn't matter. My talent superseded anything he could do. All I needed was opportunity, and I took it, Memories to last for the lifetime. But everyone, it's all about you and how you present yourself and the way you feel about you. And then you're able to spread. It's like, if you don't love yourself, you definitely can't love anybody else. So the more you love yourself, the more you got love to give to everybody. And the confidence you have in yourself is the way you give confidence out to other people. Like the way I walk. I tell my dad when I see him, like, I walk like you do. I walk fast. I walk with my head up. And all my boys, if you see them all walking with me, even my daughter, we're never walking down. Like, you know how you walk by people and they're looking down most of the time? They only look up just to, and I don't mean looking their phone. Now you got a lot of people that's, looking at their phones, but I mean people that just, when they walk and no phone and then they look down, there's lack of confidence there. I hold my head high no matter what the situation. I face it. Like they say, you face danger. I mean, you have to decide how to move in and out with it, but you kind of face it. You did. Damn, I do got a lot of work to do. I'm getting my carpets cleaned tomorrow, so I know I'm gonna have to move my living room furniture. I know my son ain't gonna be too happy moving it. But it's only one room. Well, we're gonna get the stairs done, and I think our bedroom, but we're not moving no shit. Like in here, I ain't moving this shit. I'm gonna tell him he ain't got to do it because I had to put all this shit up, and I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to put everything up. But I don't know. Maybe the trail in here, I might put everything up. I don't know. We'll see. Well, tonight, I think I messed up. No, I didn't. So tonight, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'm going to do the divination and just get into it. The divination and the Totec, again, we're looking at the number 12. And it is called the herb. And the meaning is twisted herb. Refers to the way the plant grows. And again, you can see the plant having thorns on it. See, several kind of beverages are made from this drink. Primary plaque, which is known to nettle the ancient people of Mexico, known as netto. The ancient indigenous cultures practiced sacred inebriation, although the consumption of nettle, a psychoactive mushroom, priorite, in order to contact the sacred. All right, so the general meaning is, the positive meaning of Mananali represents the power of the healer. As a warning signal, it represents the risk of physical or psychic inebriation. The sign of the healer may come to you because you need to look for healing for yourself or because you are called to become the healer. Often both messages apply. Healing is meant here encompasses the service of a modern doctor, candinalo, spiritual healer, medicine person, therapist, counselor, anyone involved in supporting healing process. You will relate to the one that happens to be appropriate for you in your situation. The archetype of the wounded healer is very relevant to understanding this card. Only when you have suffered pain and recovered from that pain can you understand and support others. Your sorrows, your failures, your times of crisis and emotional pain, all of them will be your assets. When you're going to support the healing as others, as long as you have recovered and found peace for yourself, then you will be ready for personify the healing authentically. The healer and healing came together as two sides of the same. However, it also applies if you are having or your way to having problems related to the use or abuse of substances like alcohol, marijuana, or others. In this case, it is important to have your own inner eyes wide open. All too often, users admit that they have a problem only when it's too late to reverse it. Make sure that doesn't happen to you. And in the regular tarot, here we go. In the regular tarot, and it kind of gives the same meaning, is the hangman. Again, you see the 12 on the bottom. And with the hangman is you see that one tree is growing while the other one is a platform. So you see life springing, but yet, you see the distress of the person. Oh, that must be my son. He must have came in. And so the hangman is all dependence on mind is brought to a standstill. No movement is possible. Oh, here we go. A person hangs upside down with the left leg and the arm tied to a giblet, a hangman's tree. The right leg and arm tied to a living tree that is blossoming. A radiation comes from the body, and the blue sky is overcast with storms turning ominous red. The giblet and the living tree are rising from a fertile green plant. This is the first card of the emotional realm, and it shows that the fool's values are now turned topsy-turvy. The mind has been brought to a total impasse at the end of the tether. The mind's limits will be exposed by emotions, which will prod and test those limits, and all suffering is laid bare. The mind has come to a standstill, an impulse. This is the holy position, and holy means a whole or complete, implying total surrender. Total surrender, whole surrender. There can be no synthetic surrender here. This is total action, is the sacrifice necessary for the fool to comprehend the cosmic order. The hangman is an absolute paradox, and that goes again with having the drug, the two sides of the herb. The herb can help you, and the herb can hurt you. For the fool's edification, we have is a graphic depiction of the illusion of I hung between the dead past and the living blossoming now. The I is born when it believes it has self separate from the body. Having separated itself in the view of things, it finds itself what it believes, and to be a hostile world. Never perceives itself as hostile, but defending its right to be left alone. The fool is confused. Life exists as a whole thing, a complete thing, yet he feels himself to be a separate entity. And just want to give, this is the Mayan, this goes with the card set that other book went to. This just gives a little more incense. It says, unfamiliar with the tarot would often turn the hangman around so he is right side up. But when we do, we see the similarity between the crucifixion. Crucifixion. The monogram of being specifically hung from a tree, spread and spilling blood. And then this one you see in the codex. That is from the Mayan codex, Codex Nutal. Let me see. Jung wrote at length on Christ as a symbol of self, and the crucifixion is experience of being torn apart by two opposing forces. He said the great symbol tells us that the progressive development and differentiation of consciousness leads to an ever more menacing awareness of the conflict. It involves nothing less than the crucifixion of the ego agonizing suspicion between irreconcilable opposites. In such cases, the ego is suffering bystander who decides nothing but submit to the decisive and surrender unconditionally. The genius for man, the higher and more spacious part of him, to whose extent no one knows, has the final word. We have repeatedly over the years bump our head and fall into the same painful places, and the evidence builds that something about the attitude is wrong. To remedy this, we can redouble our efforts to arrange people and circumstances to conform what the ego wants. However, forces will eventually conform to what the ego wants. Aspire against us, Jung said. Nobody who finds himself on the road to wholeness can escape that characteristics suspension of which is the meaning of the crucifixion. For we will infallibly run into things that thwart and cross us first, and then there's no wish to be shadow second. The thing he is not, the other, an individual the reality of you, and third, the psychic non-ego. So just wanted to give a little more. It's kind of a deep book, a lot of information with tarot. So, yeah. Hey, there he is. What's happening? Blue Marvel.
You can't get too close to Michael. It's a foul.
Okay. That's cool. But it's good seeing you here. Well, I done got 2 hours in. That's more than enough. Thank you. Gosh, thank you guys for coming tonight. I appreciate it. For everybody who tuned in, I appreciate it. And Okay. I appreciate you coming in, and I'll be back on Wednesday. I might come tomorrow's Thursday night, Halloween. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a little bit of something tomorrow night just because it's Halloween. And yeah, maybe I'll do a little something tomorrow. So if not Wednesday for sure. Or Sunday, excuse me, not Wednesday. It is Wednesday going into Thursday. I'm sorry, but Sunday. if I don't come back tomorrow, I'll definitely be Sunday. But I think I'm going to come back tomorrow just because of, put a little more on my my altars, give my altars a little more. Thank you. Peace be all to you. To all, wear your coat tomorrow. Yeah, it's probably gonna be, well, it's gonna be raining, so I had to bust out a rain light coat. But thank you. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show, y'all. I am Big Pontiac, also known as the Time Lord, as the only time walker, Starface.